Look at all those boxes. Tell me which one of those is one of them.
None of those are the V1 boxes, just to let you know.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
fit
what's
nice.
up? What's up with those Nike boxes back there, Justin? Huh?
That's
Huh?
from like 3-4 years ago. So
Stop talking shit about Nike.
Sure it is.
it is.
There. That's from like last week. What's that, a dunk?
Raffle win.
Yeah,
Raffle wins on the low.
that's a dunk from like 3 years ago. It's the black pigeon.
Oh, that's a good one.
I see like 5 Nike boxes back there. I see like 5 orange Nike boxes back there.
I tried to get the Asics boxes to cover them up, but
Boxes, I think you're a ringer. You got Nikes inside New Balance boxes.
thankfully I don't.
I wanna get started and jump right into it. I know, Eric, this is your first time on the podcast, so I don't know if you want to give yourself an introduction, just sort of name, where you're from, Instagram name, and how long, I guess, you've been into sneakers, and what do you collect mostly?
Sure. Well, Eric GoPre 5K is my Instagram name. Man, boy, sneakers for me, it's been, collecting probably since 2005 or so, when I started working at a New Balance store, managing the store there after a couple years. That definitely got me heavily into New Balance. And then, once you start there, you start looking every single brand. I've been into Nike. I grew up in New York City, so Nike was everywhere. You couldn't avoid it. And New Balance was a brand I said I would never wear. Like, I straight up said, like, I can never see myself in New Balance. And I said things like that a lot, and boom, they happened. So New Balance, definitely my brands. They make it so easy to appreciate them. Having been to the factory, having met a lot of people with the brands, and everybody's always been great. That makes it so easy. It's a great company. It seems like a huge company, but it's easy to forget that one person owns them, that it's by and large family run, and that it's a small group of people, even though it's growing, really making a big impact for that brand.
Cool.
Really, when it comes to sneakers, like, everything's fair game.
Nice to know. I think most of us are like that. Maybe Justin excluded from that. Anti-swoosh guy over here. I want to jump right in and talk about, we're 6 months into 2021. I didn't expect the year to go this fast, but also I didn't know what to expect from sneakers, and I'm just curious what everyone's first impressions of the year are so far. We'll start East Coast and go West Coast. So we'll start with Paulo, and then Justin, and then James and Eric.
Damn, really putting me on the spot. Justin, why don't you go first? I think it'll provide a little better discussion.
Tossing the ball. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Nikes are your favorites.
Well, I don't know.
That way people stay on and listen longer, because if you don't talk about Nike at all, they'll wait for somebody like me or somebody else to talk about Nike.
Yeah. No, don't worry. I will talk very little about Nike. So, but I don't know. For me, honestly, these first 6 months have been relatively uneventful when it comes to sneakers. Like, nothing have really stood out to me, or nothing has really wowed me these first 6 months, at least in the places that I look at for what I want to get, or what I look at on Instagram. So I've sort of been underwhelmed. Obviously I have bought sneakers, but it's just I bought it because I liked it, but it's not like I bought it because oh my God, it's amazing kind of thing. So it's been a bit underwhelming for me.
Good segue. I'm gonna kind of second Justin's thoughts here. I guess there's a few shoes maybe that stand out for me. But it's, I haven't bought a lot this year. I haven't bought a lot probably in the last 10 months, to be honest. I've kind of one way or another, I've kind of been turned off by the fact that I can't get anything online usually. And then all of a sudden, I hit 2 on Bodega. Wow, I got the Concepts A6. Those are nice, nice shoe. I always support them though, so it's a must-have for me. The first 6 months, I'd probably say the Air Max 90 Bacons are one of the shoes that stands out to me. Just because of the retro vibes of it, and it's an Air Max 90. It's not a comfortable shoe, but I like the shoe. It's a good looking shoe. And that particular collab, obviously the reissue, I think is significant. But I still haven't bought a pair, and the resale's really low on them, so I got to buy a pair. But that pair stands out to me. You have the Travis Scott pair, right? The 6s. Was there a wheat colorway that came out earlier this year?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That pair stands out a little bit. Not that I'm going to wear that, but and then the Dunks, obviously Nike Dunks have been everywhere, every which color. I wish I could have some of them, but I can never hit on those. So it is what it is. I just move on. I don't even care anymore. I say screw it. Throw on some old pair of shoes that I have and enjoy them. So that's just my feeling on this year so far.
James.
As far as so for me, I would call it. I would have to say that sneakers have been. If I had to put a word to it, there have been so many drops, various brands, of course, but logistical issues, COVID causing problems. Nothing's dropping on time. It's hard to keep up with anything you want. But from a collector standpoint, it's been great. There've been so many shoes that I've wanted to get my hands on that I hadn't gotten my hands on, or like the Bacons, like you said, it was a shoe that was being reissued that I really wanted to have again. But as far as sneakers go, I think it's been great. There's been tons of cool shoes that have dropped. I mean, putting a list together for today's conversation was troublesome because I wasn't sure which direction to go with it because there's been so much. But getting your hands on it's been a nightmare. Sneakers has pushed back damn near every release that they've had. I'm sorry, sneakers. I should say Nike. I'm gonna have to say New Balance has been very underwhelming for me. The shoe that I'm looking forward to hasn't dropped yet. I think it's next month. So at least there's that. But I mean, I guess with the P-Rod. Dunk SB has been one of the best shoes I've seen. It's uglier than shit, but it is like from like a SB addict. It's a phenomenal shoe, and I'm glad that it dropped. I don't have it yet, but I'm gonna find my way to it. I've been trying a few ways to get to it, but I think shoes have been fine. It's just getting them has been a bit of it's been harder than usual.
Hey Dave, what's funny is I don't know if anybody saw this. Not to change, it's on the topic, but Complex came out with a list of the top 10 shoes 3 hours ago.
I didn't see it.
Oh, God.
Hey, tell them to cut a check.
And some of those shoes that we're talking about are obviously on the list.
Oh, I know. Why
Obviously,
am I not
yeah.
surprised? Yeah.
Bro,
Eric.
I feel like I could guess the top 10 on that so easily. Complex is so
Predictable.
They're predictable.
Let me guess. The Alma Mater is number 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sure the trophy room is in there.
Yep.
Probably
Yes,
the
God.
Bodega is in there. The Bodega.
The New Balance Bodega. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see what else. The P-Rod's probably in there,
Yep.
guaranteed.
Yep.
Let me see. Let's vibe. Trophy room is in there, guaranteed.
What about the Travis Scott 6s?
The Travis 6s, I'm
Really
sure are
bad.
there.
Look at that. Even a guy who hates
Damn.
Nike pulled it off.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The one shoe I'm shocked that's on this list though, well, 2 of them. The Yeezy 450.
Oh my God, the dumpling.
Yeah, that shoe is.
Oh, God.
And the Bad Bunny Adidas Forum Low.
I was gonna ask if that was on there. Had a feeling.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, I love that. That's cool with me. I like that.
That's,
That's cool.
that's not a bad shoe. I
That's
not a bad
honestly
shoe.
would say that's a good shoe. It's just overhyped. That's the
Absolutely.
only thing.
It's probably the only Adidas I would have even considered to throw in there in like the last 15 years.
But we covered it now.
Eric, you want to get in your first impressions for the year?
Boy, I mean, like you said, definitely raced by. It definitely feels like a continuation of last year with the raffles ongoing. Dunks just getting, dunk fatigue for me. I see dunks like 100 raffles come my way. I mean, people are cool. They send you the raffle links, but it's like, man, I can't enter another raffle for a dunk that I'm not going to get anyway. And there have been some pretty nice releases on them, but geez, it's too much. But I definitely liked I've been able to go into shops again. I've been able to pick up collabs in stores, which it just doesn't happen out here, especially in San Francisco. Like LA gets the love, obviously New York, but in the West Coast, LA gets the love that we just don't. So it's been nice to be able to go to like an Undefeated and see, oh, they're collab sitting. Not that they like that, but it's nice for me as a consumer to have that chance to see the product before I even buy it. Where in the back in the day, it's like, shoot, buy now, decide later. So yeah, definitely feels like that continuation of 2020 though, with the brands that were kind of doing well in 2020 seem like they're pulling ahead, and the brands that you're wondering what are they doing are still kind of in that position where the Asics, the Sauconys, like they're really not making a lot of noise, but New Balance and Nike, you can't avoid them if you're into sneakers. Yeah, I mean, it's wild seeing New Balance and Nike kind of, obviously Nike's always going to win, but seeing them kind of battle it out for the headlines and the attention is remarkable. It's not something that would have happened a couple years ago.
Those commercials.
Absolutely.
The commercials too, yeah. Oh yeah, in NBA games and sports, just New Balance commercials. They're not as compelling as something you'll see from Nike, but they're actually there, and you have to notice it. Like it's just something you wouldn't see before.
Is New Balance still trending up, or have they leveled off?
I would say a slight incline. I don't think they're nearly peaking as hard as they were, but I think they're still rising, just at a gradual pace. As much, it's not to the moon anymore.
Of course, I wish they have plateaued. You know, I don't want them to go any higher. Please come back down, New Balance. I want to buy your shoes again.
We haven't seen the big guns, like for New Balance, the big guns, the Joe Fresh Goods and the Salehi. Once they're putting out their product, then you'll see what it's really like. Right now, you know, Bodega and Kith, they did their thing, and it was good, but it wasn't what you might have expected it to be. But those big guns, they're waiting. And keep in mind too, for every brand, it's an Olympic year, and that's always huge for sneakers, whether or not sneakerheads even realize that these brands target Olympic years or big. It should be making noise one way or another. And the more athletes they have in the Olympics, you know, the bigger an impact they'll have. So
yeah. One of the things that I think about New Balance is I still feel like they haven't caught up to where the market is in certain places. And so, like, you know, the Bodega drop was big. And I think a lot of people did hit and were able to, like, you know, purchase a pair of the 990 V3s, but I still feel like they could have did a bigger release, right? Like it could have been multi-store. It didn't have to be all at Bodega. And one of the things that I was thinking about, you know, in preparation for this episode is thinking about each brand and how they maximize their potential. And one of the things that I really like about Nike, and I've been sort of thinking about it a lot, is the fact that they and Saucony, they follow like a very similar model where they do the store exclusive release and then you get a worldwide release. And Nike does something very similar where no Nike product is ever going to be a store exclusive. You're always going to get a chance for it on Sneakers app or something else. And so
Not true, just to
I
let you know,
wish
David.
New Balance would do that, and they've only done it with like one or two things. They did it with like Bricks and Woods this year, and I think something else. But I really wish that they would give more access to their releases, their collaborative releases, through other means other than just the boutique that's doing the collaboration. Because I mean, it's cool that Bodega gets sort of like that control, but at the same time, like, you know, it's funneling everyone to this one point and no one can get anything, right? So, you know, it'd be nice to have that, to have a better setup at New Balance where they could facilitate some of the releases too.
Well, this, you know, I mean, this will pass too. That's what I say on every New Balance show. You know,
Yeah.
what was it, a year ago or a year and a half ago, we are talking about the 327. I'm gonna go back to it again. It's like that shoe's dead. It's not gonna live the past, it's not living it's not gonna be a shoe that's gonna test time and be around forever. It's just how it is. V3s. All right, I'm gonna tell you all. Maybe you guys don't know. I've had V3s. I had a V3 NB1 done like 4 years ago, and people would make fun of me for a V3. Now everybody wants them, you know. I mean,
Time to
um,
sell.
so I mean, maybe New Balance needs to put me back on their seating list again because I started that trend years ago. So
Well, I mean, I think maybe because my tastes have changed. So back then, I wasn't really interested in 990s, but I've definitely, the past couple of years, I've definitely gotten into 990s a lot more. So,
do you think that was influenced? What do you think that was influenced by?
um, I think it was mainly influenced because I bought the Concepts V2 Cherian Purple,
Yep.
and those things are awesome.
Yep.
And that sort of made me want to get more 990s. And yeah, it's just kept on. So I think I have most I have are V2s.
V2s are awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really enjoy the V2, but I really want to get the other ones too. So that's why I'm really glad the Kith V3s were so easy to get. I was really happy about that. Super simple, had no problems. Even the regular release was just like, yeah, just log on. Even 10 minutes later, still log on. Get your pair. I was like, this is perfect. This is what I want to see. It's like I don't I don't want the craziness that's been New Balance for like the past year or two. So I was really happy about that release.
Um, what about other brands? So I know we kind of came back to New Balance. But what about Asics? What about Saucony? What about Adidas? Um, James, any thoughts on Adidas? I know how much you love them.
Adidas is the biggest disappointment like ever. You know what I mean? For as big as that company is and as the history that it has, as far as innovation goes, it's just garbage. I mean, they just don't do anything well anymore, right? They just kind of put out the same lame duck releases that they've done in the past. And I mean, look, they have good shoes, but are they great shoes? But they sell out. Like when you drop an Air Max 1, people care. When you drop a Compass at $70, you should, but nobody cares. Sambas don't care. They don't have the catalog to retro the shoes that were cheap back then. Now nobody's rocking them like that, and I don't see any of their new stuff being relevant either. Like there's nothing that they're doing that's ever done properly, whether it be from a marketing standpoint, whether it be from an innovative standpoint. Like they're just okay, kind of. I don't buy Adidas anymore. There's nothing I want, and I'll exclude Yeezy from that. But even that line itself has kind of been a dud to me for what the last year and a half, 2 years maybe. I haven't bought a Yeezy since in that time frame. There's just, for as big as they are and as old as they are, you would think that they should be fighting Nike for the top spot, not New Balance, right? Just based on size alone and their global reach. They're just not there from a sneaker wear standpoint anymore.
Anybody else? Any thoughts on Adidas? I'm kind of looking forward to see what happens with Jason and Jerry now that they got brought over to do Adidas basketball. I mean, I feel like if they have some creative control over marketing, that could be a big impact for them. They have, and that's one of the weird things to me is like they have the basketball athletes, right, to be able to compete with Nike. Like you got Damian Lillard, you got James Harden, and I don't even know what shoe they're on. Like I couldn't tell you. Like you could show me a Dame Lillard shoe and I'd go, okay. Like I have no idea what it looks like in its current iteration. I've seen past ones like the Bape collab and some of the other things, and I'm like, oh, those are cool. Those are great. But like not enough to keep up with it, right? So I'm always curious, like what this new blood is going to bring to the brand, and when we'll start seeing the fruits of that.
Look, I mean, they released the I guess the images of Pharrell's remake of the NMD, which looked nice. I'm not gonna lie, it looks like a nice shoe, but aside from that, that's been probably the closest thing to getting me excited about anything Adidas related in years. Probably since like the Ultra Boost, if I'm being honest, right? Since the Ultra Boost 2, maybe. Since then, but at least they changed the shape of it a little bit, which is kind of sad. But the fact that it just changed the shapes slightly, and that was enough to get me excited, just because look at all their other shoes are exactly the same.
Yeah, and I know we mentioned the Forum low in the forum. Justin, you kind of talked about them. Has anybody bought a Forum? I look at them and I'm like, these are kind of cool, but
There have been a few times that I've been tempted to buy one of the lows, and it's just every time I'm about to, push the buy button, I see like a pair of New Balances for like 20% off. Like, crap. It's tough. It's like for example, I just saw like maybe a couple weeks ago, like Shinzo Paris has this really, really cool collab with the Forum High that they're doing right now. And it looks really nice. And I'm like, wow, this is actually a pair I would love to own. But then I think to myself, am I ever going to wear a Forum High?
No.
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 So why am I going to buy it? Maybe if it was a Forum Low, that actually might have pushed me over the edge to buy a Forum Low if Shinzo Paris, because what they did for that Forum High, I don't know if you guys have seen photos of it or not, but they actually did a really good job. And it actually excited me a lot. So I was sort of disappointed that they did a high and not a low. Yeah, so it's weird. It's like everything I've seen from Adidas like the past year, it's like they're so close to making a hit, so close, and it's just like one tiny detail just blows the whole thing away, and it's done. It's like no, just move on. I don't know.
yeah, there's nothing that
I was
ever
gifted
makes
a
me-
low.
Oh, nice.
I mean, aside from like, well, the only thing I can think of that Adidas has done well, and I say that loosely, was the South Park collaboration, the Tally.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I just like that because of the theme more than I did the shoe.
That outperformed expectations.
Yeah.
That outperformed massively what they thought it was going to do.
They do a good job with 420 shoes. They did that one with Bait a couple of years ago that did well.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, 420 shoes for Adidas, for whatever reason, they have that formula that just works for them, and people
Yeah.
know what to get. So the one thing they do right, go figure.
But would you
Yeah.
take Adidas's 420 over Nike's 420? Like, I feel like Nike's 420 themes are just, I mean,
Well-
I forget Adidas has a 420 theme because Nike's Adidas themes, or Nike's 420 themes are always better.
I mean, that one that they did that was crazy limited, that SB, what was it, like a year ago, I think? I think it was last year, the purple one.
The
Yeah, of
skunks,
course.
Yeah,
the inverted skunks. Yeah.
Sure. Shoot.
You.
Yeah, give me one of those. Of course. I'll take that over
Absolutely.
year, period. Much less 420.
Absolutely.
It's true. No,
I-
Adidas, like you said, they're not compelling for the most part. Sure, they hit on occasion, but for me, the biggest issue, like when I look at a shoe brand, I tend to also look what I wear their clothing, and Adidas is so boring on the clothing side that it just makes me like their shoes even less. Like you just see a lack of creativity in one area. I want to see like the full total package from a brand. You can't
Right.
just have one part of it. I need everything, because that's some people know a brand from the shoes, other people know it from the clothing, and I want to know both sides of it. And that's where obviously Nike's still on top. That's where New Balance has made strides, where they're working with partners that can and do make clothing for them. ALD, the biggest capsule collection you've ever seen of clothing. It's just insane. So that's, and Joe Fresh Goods, they're smart where they're doing that, and Adidas is just not at all.
Yeah, Brooks and Wood made a good clothing collection too with their release.
Yeah,
I think their clothing was better than the shoe, but that's just my personal opinion.
I'm with you on that. A lot of people liked, I think it was a hoodie that sold out. It sold out so fast I didn't even see it, but I think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people, or like a Compton hoodie or t-shirt, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, you're right. Sometimes the clothing is better. True.
Man, but like you said, Dave, with Jerry there, he's predominantly a clothes guy, so maybe he can revive the brand by making the clothes appealing again. I mean, Jerry's a creative guy, so I am looking forward to seeing what he's doing. But it is NBA or he is focused on basketball and not necessarily lifestyle. So we'll see how that looks.
But
Yeah.
they definitely go hand in hand. I mean, they
Yeah.
can definitely make something happen.
Yeah, ideally, I hope so.
Anybody want to talk about Asics or Saucony at all?
Listen, I'm happy to do that. I'll contribute my 2 cents. So I actually think ASICS is starting to do a little good job. I think they're releasing some unique colorways and they're starting to do some different. I don't know what they've done that's different. I can't figure it out, but it's catching my eye more. Something's happening with them, and I can't identify it, but something is happening there. I don't know if they're just starting to think. I mean, if you think about New Balance, it's kind of the same progression, really, and then they signed Kawhi, start building those blocks. I mean, maybe ASICS is up to something and we're not aware of it yet. Saucony, I like some of the stuff they've done. Have I bought any of it? No, I have not. I like to buy some of their stuff again, to check it out. I probably will. But I think they're just kind of, they're kind of dead in the water right now, I think. Like Diadora is dead. You're making a shoe. What's for that YouTube guy? What's his name?
Guys,
We don't even talk about his name, actually, but like Diadora gives him a shoe. Are you kidding me? It's like laughable. It's so weird. Doesn't align with their brand, and I hate to lump Diadora in there, but they're part of it too, because a lot of stores stopped carrying Diadora. They did. And I like their product, but I think ASICS is doing something. I'm just not aware of what it is yet.
their concepts collab was amazing. I thought it was great. I've seen a couple of shoes that are sitting on shelves that were really nice, but you're right. I don't know what they're up to at all.
Yeah, they have. I will second that. I see a lot more ASICs now. It's catching my eye. I find myself browsing their site a lot more than I did maybe 6 months ago, and just kind of looking. But they have some really good inline product, but they haven't done any really outstanding collaborations other than concepts as of late. They did a lot of like stuff in Asia, it seems like, with a lot of like different Asian brands, and that stuff just hasn't caught on here. It doesn't seem like it's really caught anything, unless Justin's picking it up and nobody knows about it.
Yeah, they definitely do a lot of funky collabs. It seems like they do too many. I mean, you could go on any store site that's carrying ASICS, and you just see these weird looking shoes. And there might be a gem buried somewhere in that list, but I don't want to search through all that. It turns me off to it pretty quickly for them. But I definitely do get excited when I see like a clean Gel Light 3. Haven't seen a Gel Light 5 in a while, but when I see that, they're doing more women's too, which definitely helps. And it seems like they try to match up men's and women's a little bit. So it helps when they're doing that, because those seem to sell, seems to be doing well enough for them, seems to be worthwhile for them, and they need to capture the women's market. I mean, every brand does. Women buy shoes, and brands are finally getting that, it seems, the past few years. So ASICS, they'll always be around. They'll always kind of be knocking at the door, but they can never kind of break through. And it seems like they almost don't want to. It's also tough when they just make runners. They don't focus on any other sports. Like, they're running shoe brands and they make lifestyle. And it seems like every other big brand has basketball in their back pocket as well. So that always seems like it'll impact them.
They have a missed opportunity though, because so Novak Djokovic, he's an ASICS athlete. He just won the French, right? So
Yeah, I think it's the French.
and so what a missed opportunity, right? Like, I feel like, man, you got this like world-class athlete. Do you know what Nike would have done if Federer had won?
Well,
You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
Yeah,
he
I
would
thought,
have got a Jordan collaboration sneaker, and the world would have
hold
gone
on.
crazy.
I thought Federer wasn't with Nike anymore.
No, he's not. But I think he
Okay.
still wear. No, he doesn't wear their shoes
You
anymore.
guys
No,
know what I'm
he
gonna
doesn't.
do? You guys know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
gonna do? You guys
But
know
I'm
what
just
gonna do?
saying, like, when he was with Nike and you know he won something, Nike made a big deal about it, right? And like,
right.
you wouldn't miss that opportunity. Like, they would have did something, or they would have had something teed up and made it a bigger deal, right? So, I mean, I feel like for Asics, it's such a layup, and they just kind of miss it, and it's like they don't really care. I don't know. The other thing, like you said before, Eric, is that they don't really have clothing, right? So, like, if you're thinking about like a lifestyle shoe and you're into runners and you're thinking about Asics, it's like, well, the market's kind of changed from what it was maybe like 2, 3, 4 years ago, where everyone was doing like the pinroll cuffs and everything. And now, like, how do you update that look for runners so that like you can wear it with whatever the style is now? And Asics isn't really, they're not going to give you anything to help you with that, right? So you're not going to look at them.
I mean,
don't know. A lot of missed opportunity there.
they've done reigning champ at the very least, so they've tried. But other than that, yeah. I mean, I have, oh God, I have when I was working at a running store, we had an Asics rep and he left, and he gifted me a huge box of Asics clothing. I hope he never sees this because I haven't really worn them. And it's like I have this big box of Asics t-shirts and stuff, and it's like, I don't know, it's nice, but I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah. I have some sweatpants from them I bought a few years ago, and I like never wear them. It just seems like a waste.
They had stuff a couple years ago, but not anymore. I mean, and nobody's really looking for their clothing anyway, unless they're
No.
running light. But even in running stores, which is their core, when you were talking about Saucony too, that is one brand I'm a little excited about because they're a brand that tends to be quiet for a long time, and then suddenly, boom, 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 they'll drop stuff. And recently, it's the A Few collab. It's the Fresh Rags that's coming out. These are
Yeah.
there's a store in Germany. I can't remember their name. They did like a cool
Akribik.
like,
Akribik.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
the
knew
Azura.
that. So yeah. So that's probably the last we'll hear of them for like a year. Their 3 are in, and now they're going to go away, which makes me sad because I get.
No, they got a couple more.
Do they? Good.
There's a
I get
couple more in the
excited.
chamber.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
looking
but
forward to
that's
seeing those up there shoes.
that's literally what Saucony is. It comes they're like a boxer who comes in for a quick jab, bah, 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 and they're gone for a little
Yeah.
bit. They come in,
Quick
they'll
punch.
hit you with 2 or 3, and then they leave. They're like, "I'm over here. You come do your thing." That's them.
Pretty much.
I had liked to see the progression that they've made and sort of like fixing the quality issues that they've had.
Looks like they've done a good job.
Yeah, like the Jazz Court RFG, that was like, to me, that's probably one of my sneakers of the year. Just really cool shoe. I bought a pair for my wife, and she hasn't stopped wearing them. She's worn them every single day since Mother's Day. So that's high praise from her because I buy her a lot of stuff.
Really?
But like that shoe, what they've done with the shadows, updating the sole so it's like a cup sole now, and you don't get the glue stains and all of that, and using like really high quality Wolverine suede, I think, you know, it's just really gonna help them stand out. I just wish more people would buy their products to kind of see the quality and the change that has happened over the past.
When you were talking about Saucony too, that is one brand I'm a little excited about because they're a brand that tends to be quiet for a long time, and then suddenly, boom, 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 they'll drop stuff. And recently, it's the A Few collab. It's the Fresh Rags that's coming out. These are
Yeah.
there's a store in Germany. I can't remember their name. They did like a cool
Akribik.
like,
Akribik.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
the
knew
Azura.
that. So yeah. So that's probably the last we'll hear of them for like a year. Their 3 are in, and now they're going to go away, which makes me sad because I get.
No, they got a couple more.
Do they? Good.
There's a
I
couple
get
more in the
excited.
chamber.
Well, I'm looking
but
forward to
that's
seeing those up there shoes.
literally what Saucony is. It comes they're like a boxer who comes in for a quick jab, bah, 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 then they're gone for a little
Yeah.
bit. They come in,
Quick
they'll
punch.
hit you with 2 or 3, and then they leave. They're like, "I'm over here. You come do your thing." That's them.
Pretty much.
I had liked to see the progression that they've made and sort of like fixing the quality issues that they've had.
Looks like they've done a good job.
Yeah, like the Jazz Court RFG, that was like, to me, that's probably one of my sneakers of the year. Just really cool shoe. I bought a pair for my wife, and she hasn't stopped wearing them. She's worn them every single day since Mother's Day. So that's high praise from her because I buy her a lot of stuff.
Really?
But like that shoe, what they've done with the shadows, updating the sole so it's like a cup sole now, and you don't get the glue stains and all of that, and using like really high quality Wolverine suede, I think, is just really gonna help them stand out. I just wish more people would buy their products to kind of see the quality and the change that has happened over the past
So-
couple of years.
So they graduated from Lucani now.
A little bit.
I didn't say it.
I know. I knew you wouldn't say it, Paulo. I brought it up.
I want to talk about boutiques. I want to jump on boutiques
Ooh.
because
I have a lot to
feel
say
like-
about that.
I feel like that is really where it's opened up, in terms of
This year has been interesting, I have to say.
who's who's on top, who's making a splash, who's really like coming hard with like, because I think as a boutique, it can't just be like, oh, I dropped a sneaker collab. You have to do a whole capsule, and you have to do like continuous things to kind of keep people intrigued and enticed. So I'm curious what boutiques and stores you guys have found like really interesting or just eye-catching. Erik, we'll start West Coast and come east.
Being out here, I mean, there's definitely going to be a West Coast bias for me. I like what Undefeated has done. They always do a lot of clothing for themselves, but I like them working with Kobe. I was super excited to be able to get a pair of his Hall of Fames they did.
That was cool.
Yeah, those are, and I love the fact that they made them available, that they, as far as you can tell, they didn't backdoor them, that it was something you actually had a shot at. Their dunks now, the Air Force, the story that they're doing with that, I like it. I like that they're making some noise. I like that they still have raffles that you can enter and maybe have a shot at. And I mean, they have their way of doing it. They're never going to be really flashy or crazy, and they have colors that they use, but I just like it. I also like Nice Kicks out here since they I like Nice Kicks since they're doing a lot more collabs and talking to the people there. They're doing more. They have Asics coming up. They did Adidas, they did New Balance. They'll do more, I'm sure. So I definitely like seeing that as an option too.
James, middle of the country.
Yeah. So I mean, look, the big ones are obviously. I mean, Amaneer's having probably the best year because they got the big shoe, right? They got the big collab and they deserve it. They're doing a lot of great things. I don't have one in my town. So as far as like, for me, the best sneaker shops or like boutiques are the ones that are in my neighborhood. Cause that's where I go hang out. So I'm always going to give love to Center here in Dallas. Cause they're great. They're right up the street. I can go hang out there. Sneaker Politics just moved into town and sad to say, but that's all I got here in Dallas. We don't have a major scene, which makes it interesting because I'm focused to pay attention to everybody else's boutiques, right? I have to know what Undefeated's doing. I have to know what Bodega's doing. I have to know what Concepts is doing and all the bigger names and so on and so forth. And like, don't even get me into SBs because we have two skate shops in town. That's it. You'd expect Dallas to have a lot more than that. But as far as it goes for me, from a retail standpoint, I have 4 stores total to get everything I want, and they don't always get them. Center's a tier 1, not a tier 0. Politics is Politics. They get tier 0 stuff. So I'm really limited on those. So I'm going to give those guys love. Magnolia Skate Shop and the Point Skate Shop, because that's where I would go to. But as far as the best boutique, that's tough to say. I mean, we all know, we've said the name of the probably the top 3 in this conversation already, or 4, I'd say, that everybody in the country knows: Undefeated, Bodega, Concepts, and I'm on Monero Social Status. They're all combined, right? So those are the big boys. But as far like for me, it's who you support locally that's really important. Like those are the ones that matter to me, because those are the people that I have the relationship with. So when I think of a boutique, I think of a barbershop. I go hang out. I go meet them. I go to their events. Center just had an event with Raekwon from Wu-Tang this weekend. She was in town. It was like it was a party vibe. I got the T-shirt on. You know what I mean? The chef. It was nice. It was nice, especially because it's an East Coast thing here in Dallas. We're in the middle of the country, so like I appreciate stuff like that, because we don't get the East Coast and the West Coast goodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Paulo or Justin? I don't know who wants to.
I guess, okay, I'll go. Yeah, no, I thought that was really cool when I heard about that, James, that Raekwon went over there to Century. That was pretty cool. The only problem I had with that, though, was that they were selling his deodorants for a little bit over retail. So
a little.
A
little? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
that's the only thing that I did not like about that. But,
a little bit.
But I honestly, I have to say that this year, I think like all the like amount of money that I've been spending with these boutiques has been starting to bear fruit, because this year for me has been the year of early access. I don't know about you guys, but I've been getting a lot of emails from Kith, a lot of emails from ALD, just like, just be like, yeah, here you go, you can buy this, or here you go, you can buy that, or, like, just recently I was telling David that I got an email from Union because I've been buying their stuff, and they gave me they gave me access to their Jordan 4, because they're like, hey, you've been buying a lot of stuff from us, we really appreciate you, so here you go. I was like, okay, cool. For me, it's been a lot of stores showing me love because I've been showing them support, and I've been loving what they're doing, and I really appreciate that. So my favorite is always going to be ALD, because, well, I mean, I've been loving them since I want to say 2017, and I've been always enjoying what they've been doing. And this year has been a little bit off kilter because I've noticed they're starting to make some stuff in places I'd rather not buy stuff from, but other than that, though, their designs have definitely been on point. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. Even Concepts is showing love to me too. They offered me the chance to buy their Gelite 3s. That was great. I don't know. This year has definitely been really, really, I guess, kind to me. But yeah, that's really my take on boutiques. I've just been enjoying the emails, I guess.
Yes, yes, I'm disappointed. To sum it up, really, because Ronnie used to give me access to all the New Balance, and then all of a sudden he stopped giving me access. He got too big for me, I guess. So fuck you, Ronnie. That's why. No, it's all good. Ronnie's cool. But they don't give me access anymore, and I don't understand why. It's really weird, but it is what it is. Because I never really bought a lot of clothes from them or anything like that. I would just buy shoes,
Yep.
I always bought shoes from there online. So he's got that history. So I don't know. Concepts takes care of me still. Any collab stuff like that, I'm gonna have access to it. It doesn't matter what it is, which is good. Can't get Yeezys or anything like that, but
You don't want them.
I don't want them anyways. I just want a pair. I want another pair of Wave Runners, dude. I do want a pair of the Wave Runners. I do like that shoe. But in all honesty, like I said earlier, I haven't bought a lot this year. And the places I have bought from, Concepts, I'm trying to think of who else I bought from sneakers and stuff this year too. I bought the New Balance 950?
920.
920, sorry, yeah. The 920s. Got them on discount. They were like 140, and I was like,
Nice.
I'm buying these things. And David, is all because I saw them at Sneaker Junkies down in New Haven. I saw the red pair. And I tried them on and I was like, wow, these are so
So
comfortable.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, but they wanted still 225 down there. I said, nah, I'm gonna go home and do some research here. Um, but yeah, I mean, I haven't bought a lot, so it's I might be kind of like beating a dead horse, but I don't know if it's because I've kind of like Justin was saying earlier, tastes change, things change or life happens, things happen. Do I like to buy stuff? Yeah, I mean, I bought a pair of those YCMC collabs, the 992s because of the colors, and I got the bodegas and I looked at them and I was kind of like, they came in today. I was really underwhelmed by them. I just don't like the color of the shoe. I thought it was gonna be more greenish than brownish.
I thought it was going to be
So,
more grayish than brownish, to be honest.
yeah, along those lines, you know what I mean? The color really threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Some people will like it, obviously. My V3 is better, but yeah, I mean, I think they're all doing well. I mean, obviously Concepts is in the new space. I still haven't gone to it. Even though I was in Boston yesterday, I drove up to Boston to play softball, actually, a doubleheader.
Did you check out their place in Manhattan yet? Their new place there?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Because every time I go to Manhattan, I just want to go to a brewery. I don't even want to go to sneaker shops. But yeah, I mean, that's probably next on my list anyways. But
It's
I
a cool
think
space.
they're all
I
doing good
checked.
things. They're all getting big. Is this where it kind of hits where it says it's no longer, Justin, you said that they're still giving you love, some of them, me too, which is great. But when does that stop? When does that end? You know what
Sure.
I mean? When they become too big to do that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe it won't happen.
And that's why I didn't call Kith a boutique shop, because I don't see them as a boutique anymore. They're huge, right? They're global.
Yeah, they are definitely global.
Concept, same thing, man. They're all over the world now too.
Shanghai, Dubai, they're doing
Right,
really well.
I
for
think-
Concepts. Yeah.
I don't know though. Like so the funny thing is, right? I don't know if everyone read my article or when I
did.
got to interview Dion last.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I asked him like, how does it feel, basically designing now versus designing, and thinking about products, 5 or 10 years ago when, you guys were just this small brand in Boston. And I think in his mind, he doesn't think like Ronnie does, where Ronnie's like, hey, I'm thinking about around the world. I'm thinking about Dion's just trying to create cool stuff, and he's not thinking about like, hey, I'm trying to create this global world stuff now. I'm just trying to create stuff that I like, right? And Ronnie's like, hey, I gotta appease this Parisian market now,
It's a good point, but I mean, we have
Right.
to remember that Dion's a very different person than
Oh yeah,
Dion is like one in a
Totally.
million in this industry. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
it's just how it is. I mean, Ronnie probably doesn't even work really anymore. I mean, he posts stuff here and there, but does it really work? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I did want to say that for me, Oneness is a really cool boutique. I think, if you're looking to pick up A6 products or New Balance products, even Saucony products, they're a really good place to go.
Except for the Up There collab, they overcharged, and they
Yeah.
shot it over 200.
Yeah, they have some weird pricing stuff like that, but I think usually if there's a GR sneaker that I really want that I think is gonna sit and I can get it at a discount, they're probably the place that I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
I really,
Oneness or Seneca also is another good.
yeah,
good
yep, yep. As far as like other boutiques, like, but Oneness doesn't do like, they don't do, clothing or anything like that of their own.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think they're very base level.
They've done a few collabs in the past, though.
Have they?
Yeah, they've done stuff with like because they're right in Lexington with like Kentucky and do like the jackets and stuff like that. So
Oh, okay.
They've done a few things in the past that are cool.
That's cool. The shop I'm really looking at and like waiting for them to do their next big sneaker collaboration or their second sneaker collaboration is Lapstone and Hammer. I really, really like what they've been doing with like clothing. Justin, you kind of pushed me into looking at clothing because sneakers have been just so hard to pick up. But I really like what Brian has done there, the stuff that he's doing with, just random releases and, doing his own like homegrown tie-dye things. I think it's really cool. I think it's really interesting. It's really organic and it's really hands-on, which I can very much appreciate, because I think a lot of brands, a lot of boutiques, a lot of stores, they don't do a lot of hands-on creation of their own product anymore. They're not like that involved. And so I really like to see what he's doing. Like they just did something for the Boys and Girls Club
Yeah, I
in
saw that.
Philadelphia, which is
And
really
the white
cool.
shirt sold out faster than the tie-dye shirt. I couldn't believe that. Like, damn.
I bought a pair of shorts
I
because
wanted
I
the
really
white
wanted to
tee.
support.
No chance.
Huh?
I wanted the white tee. No chance.
Oh, yeah, I really wanted to support that good cause.
Yeah.
And they
I hear
were
ya.
like very reasonable. So like I think like they're one of those shops that, if they come out with a collection or they do like a capsule, I am gonna look and I'm gonna try to pick up like one thing if I can. So I think Lapstone and Hammer, I really hope they do another collaboration with who, I don't care. But I really like what they've been doing. Concepts is always another one that I never was really into until this year was Union. And since it's their 30th anniversary, like I think the
Yeah.
collabs that they've been doing have been really cool, like the Awake stuff. The Awake, I had
Noah.
to get something from that. And then
Yeah.
they also did one with Noah.
Noah.
Yeah,
No,
and
yeah.
that was dope. And so
Yeah.
I really like that.
Jordan Brand, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm a little mad at myself for forgetting to say Union, and just in general, I'm such a big fan.
I feel like they are a little bit more creative and thoughtful than Undefeated, because I feel like they're both sort of like right there. And
I feel like Union is more curated though than
Right.
Undefeated.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also interesting because like we're talking about brands, right? But like when I think of Union, I don't necessarily see the store. I think of Chris Gibbs, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Concepts, I think of Dion. I don't think of, like when I think of Undefeated, I think of the store. When I think of Kith, I used to think of Ronnie. I no longer think of Ronnie anymore. You know what I mean? Like I think it has a lot to do with how involved the person who runs the store is. I guess in the day-to-day activities. I think me anyway. So like that's why I don't look at Concepts being such a massive brand, even though they're getting there. Because Dion's so down to earth. He's responded to my messages on Instagram. Ronnie never does.
Mhm.
Never.
Yeah. I mean,
He'll
for
block
me,
He'll block you before you respond. I've never been blocked, so
I was just gonna say for me, I really like Union. I have a lot of love for them. I support them because even though they are in LA, they got NYC roots, and I'm a big proponent of supporting local. And even though I'm in Maryland now, I'm always gonna be in heart. My heart is gonna be New Yorker, and so all those NYC brands, that's what I like to go for. And so, when I saw that Union was going to be doing a big anniversary thing this year, I was like, oh damn, gung ho for buying whatever I could. I've been buying way too much Union stuff this year.
I'll tell you what, though, I'll never stand in that line. Did you see that?
I saw that line.
No
That
way.
was-
Easy.
No way.
and they're in the
No way.
middle of a heat wave too, with
Facts.
Yeah.
and a drought. Middle of a
The-
heat wave and a drought.
Bro,
It's
the
crazy.
swamp ass happening in that line is just no, bro. Mm-mm. Negative.
So the other one I wanted to I would say also is Joe Fresh Goods. Like I really
Yeah.
like his stuff.
Oh, God.
I really like what he's done. Like I like a lot of his philosophies, but I feel like he's one of those people again, and he's in this New Balance like circle of like I'm a worldwide name and a worldwide brand, if not a national brand and a national name. yet I still only offer products at a local level or at a
Yeah.
small level. And it's frustrating. Like he did that Converse collab, and that I think was the most far reaching project he's sort of done. And it's like, come on, man, you're like in LA, you're doing all this cool stuff. Why are you releasing stuff that only pops up in Chicago at like a pop-up shop? You're like bigger than that. Like you need
I've
to
tried.
start-
I've tried to buy his hat so many
It's
times,
ridiculous.
and I can't buy. But I got love for him because I like what he's done.
Exactly.
There's so many people that hate him because of the last New Balance release. You know what I'm
But
talking
I have a
about.
bad feeling that he's gonna do
The shitty
again
thing,
Chicago only release, because
Good.
I saw on his IG he had a thing where like a ticket, where he put like a search for a ticket, and like the like the where you're coming from is blank and the destination Chicago. It's like, oh crap, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna make it Chicago release only. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, damn
No
it.
question. Yeah, he definitely will. But I think the 992, I think released on his website eventually, but it was like a secret drop.
Did it? I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
It did.
exactly.
Hard.
Exactly. Did he really? Yeah, he did, but who knew?
There
I mean,
weren't any sizes though. Like there weren't any, like obviously my size wasn't there, but like there weren't any,
Dude, there was like 50 of your size, Dave.
if that.
That was a more limited shoe
All
anyway.
50 sold in Chicago, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like if whoever really wants it, we're gonna have to fly to Chicago.
I'll see you boys there because I need that. That is awesome. That'll be my first New Balance of the year.
You're gonna fly
Only
over there,
balance of the
James?
year.
Hey, look, if I have nothing better to do, let's go. I'll see you there.
We'll see.
Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
maybe we can time it because the Nationals at the end of July too.
Is that in Chicago?
It is this year, yeah. in
Oh,
Rosemont.
Oh man. Oh man, that I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with this release.
Gotta bring some deep pockets.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I'll just bring my cards that just sit around collecting dust. But anyway.
Let's jump quickly to people to watch, people that really, because I think Joe Fresh Goods is a good segue to that, because he's both a brand and he's both an individual. I think there are a lot of obviously cool individuals that we sort of mentioned, like Dion, Brian Nadav. I think that's how you pronounce his name, from Lapstone and Hammer. I think he's really cool. Chris Gibbs. I mean, there's a lot of people that are like really cool to watch and just see like the cool stuff that they come up with and do. Is there anybody that
I'll butcher his name, but the Saleh Bembury.
Salehi?
Saleh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty cool, and he's been doing some really cool stuff. And hey, he wore the same jacket I wore on IG, so I'm with it.
It's meant to be.
Exactly.
You're a styling guru.
Exactly. I'm like, hey, he's got my jacket. Sweet.
He needs to do more too, like with
I'd love to see him do
making
more,
stuff
yeah.
available widely. And I think
it's gonna be wider than Joe Fresh
behind
Goods,
it.
so.
For the hype that's behind his shoes and stuff, I would like to see stuff made more available. I like those Antas that he did. Those things were dope, and they were just impossible to get. Like every time I saw that there was a new color releasing, I would like log on and they were gone.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. Huh. Didn't realize it was that popular.
Oh yeah, I give him credit because as a brand unto himself, he seems like he has fun. That Finders Keeper drop that he did, where he's just giving away 50 pairs. The excitement.
Those experiment
Yeah,
V3 New Balances he gave away. Yeah.
Yeah, the test run. Yeah.
All right,
it was
test run. That's what it's
amazing
called.
that he did
Yeah.
that, like giving away shoes that you knew were gonna, sell for $1,000 the minute somebody.
I mean,
picked
it's
them
over
up.
5K now, isn't it, for those shoes? It's crazy.
Some might. I don't even know. I haven't looked. I don't even want to know. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I'll never buy those, but
Yeah. But it's such a cool thing that he did, just giving them away. The things he's done with like shirts, giving away shirts on Insta. He's given away shoes and shirts to just seemingly random people who reach out to him. So when somebody can be a not just a brand, but a brand ambassador when he's representing other brands, it's really great to see that. And it's going to make other brands want to work with him, seeing the excitement he creates and the passion that he has for whatever projects he's doing. So yeah, he's a guy who should keep making waves for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And I
I'm gonna
mean,
flip it. I'm gonna flip it to the ladies, dude. Like, I mean, for as much as the guys are doing, I actually think the ladies have had a great year, and I
Very
think that
true.
they deserve more praise because they're killing it heavy. So as far as people to keep an eye on, Melody Asani now being, the creative director for Foot Locker, she's already dropped her first line. Like, pay attention. They're killing it. Laylee May, she's doing her thing. And the thing that gets me is that the stuff that they're putting out, I want it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to wear it. I wanted the shoes. So give them hell, ladies. Keep it going.
Yeah. I want to segue just to a question that I have. I know, like, for the past couple of years, people have been saying, oh, we need to do more for ladies. We need to do more women's releases. I feel like Nike has been super lazy and just doing like, oh, this is a men's release, but we're just gonna call it a women's release and then drop the sizing down so that it's lowered and then make the sizing like all inclusive. Like, because I look at some of the dunks and I'm like, that would have been a men's release. You're not changing anything other than the sizing. And not that I'm against like making all inclusive sizing, but like, don't call it a women's release, don't call it a men's release, just call it like a release and then make the sizing all inclusive, right? And
Right.
so it just seems like it's kind of like when I'm going to look at a shoe on sneakers or trying to enter a raffle, everything is like women's. And I'm like, this is a women's shoe? I didn't know it was a women's shoe. I thought
Right.
it was just a regular release.
Sure.
they could call them unisex if they wanted to, but yeah, it definitely gets confusing. And I don't even know if they changed the sizing for men's and women's drops, like so not just the length, but the widths of the shoe, because I don't make a difference. I've never tried any.
No, I mean, a women's shoe is a women's shoe. As far as sizing goes, like it is narrower. Like I got the Alma Near threes, and I had to go like a size and a half down just to fit them properly. So it was awkward. It was definitely not made for my foot. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like so a lot. And again, I don't want to speak for the ladies. They can speak for themselves. But the argument I always heard from women in sneakers was, stop giving us the crappy colors and just give us the shoe. So I don't necessarily have a problem with them releasing shoes that would have normally gone to men and giving them to women, because it seems like that's what they want anyway, right?
Yeah.
They want the same stuff we get. So cool. They don't need the super pink froofy colorways. They're not always down with that. Now now with Nike, I see the men's sizing and women's sizing on the same on the app for every shoe. So I don't really know half the time if it's a women's shoe unless I'm actually paying attention to it, unless I'm preparing to do like an episode or a segment on it. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, it's a women's shoe, but whatever. So I mean, I don't, but I understand what you're saying as far as the laziness goes, but at the same time, I feel like that's what they want.
Yeah.
Aside from inclusivity, they want to be involved in the conversation. They want to be a part of the process, and that's cool. Let them do it, because from what I've seen that women have been doing with Nike and Jordan Brand, like I am impressed. I'm not. There hasn't been one thing where I'm like, "Ooh, that's trash. I don't like that. I would never be down with that." If most anything, it's been great.
And it's definitely one of those things where if those smaller sizes, if they're doing a release that crosses over genders, if those smaller sizes sit, then shoot, what are you going to do? But if they sell, then there's a case to be made for giving women that shot. I mean, it comes to the dollars ultimately. If those small sizes just sit, if they're the last ones left, then brands may not, give women a shot. They may not give them the options that they want. So it'll come down to dollars and women buying those shoes, or whoever wants to buy them buying them.
Yeah. I think Aleali May she's just had hit after hit, just like unstoppable. Those Zoom Air Jordan 1s, like no one likes Zoom Air Jordan 1s. They're like sitting now, like they just released a pair. So I was very surprised that like people were rocking with them as hard as they were.
Sure.
But good for her, and I think they should bring on more. I think they should bring on more women to do some of the men's releases too, because I think they're sort of giving us better stuff than some of the men's releases are. Like
Yep.
really, you gave Virgil 50 dunks.
Let me not even start
Just
with
give
that.
Lily Bay like 15 of those, right? And let her do whatever she wants to do with 15 of those. I'll take those. And then, Virgil could keep the other 35.
Guess which one he actually did any real work on? Who knows?
The one from that at least 2 years ago or a year ago.
Is Virgil dead? Is as we go into like worst worst things of the year, and things that are not so great. Is Virgil done? Like I feel like I was like,
No.
really? Come on. Like I'm not even slightly interested.
He's not done, but he's definitely been overplayed, like to the extreme, in my opinion. But he's not done because people are still going to clamor over his stuff just because, they like the quotes, I guess. I don't know, but
If
As long as somebody,
go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I mean, as long as somebody can't get it, somebody else will want it. I mean, nothing is a given. Like I would be shocked if it turns into everybody gets a Virgil shoe. So until that day, I mean, people are just going to want it. I don't think any of his shoes will hit the highs that they've hit the past. That would be a tough feat to pull off, and it seems like he's kind of moving on from the Jordan 1s and the Prestos. I mean, if he goes back to those, maybe, but he's used iconic colorways already. He's used a lot of his best weapons, the UNC ones, the Chicago's, those black Prestos. He has to find another spin on those same models if he wants to, and that's a tough one to do.
Yeah. I don't think he's done. I think he's plateauing. From a creative standpoint, there's plenty of silhouettes he can play with and he can go do something with. The problem I have with it is everything is the same. So I need some outside the box thinking like he did on the first time. I'll even give him the second round of sneakers that he released were better. But everything after the second round of shoes has just been much of the same, and that's dull. It's boring, especially for a collaboration with a collaborator of his magnitude. Like I expect creativity. Everyone expects creativity. The first one was so that now we have the spaghetti lace and a different color tongue, and that's supposed to intrigue us. Like there's a little plaque on the side. That's cool for like me on my Nike ID. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But from Virgil Abloh, I expect bigger and better. And I know as a creative person, I'm sure he has that. So do it. Like why are we still playing with the same concept 4 years later? Like do something different. So do something to energize the people on you.
I mean, I didn't even like the first dunks that he did. So him doing 50 of this iteration wasn't something I was really looking forward to. Like I didn't care. Like
in my opinion, the best shoe he's done is the Presto. That's just my opinion. And then I really haven't liked any of the dunks he's done ever. So
the dunks were awful. The one was nice. I do like the blazer, obviously. But when he got off like the cool like the standard, the 90s and everything, started going into the vapors and the whatever other wonky shoes he was doing. Like that's when I'm like, okay, what are we doing here?
I know. Anybody else that we're like disappointed with this year or just in general?
I personally am a little bit disappointed with Teddy Santis, just because he's been doing, for some reason this year, he's been making a lot of his stuff in Asia. And I'm like, what? Why? It's like, why you're charging the same prices, but now making it in Asia? That's a little bit. This is a little bit.
Guys in.
It's a little bit not cool. It's like if you're gonna start making stuff in Asia, at least drop the price
Stop buying
down.
it. That's what I tell everybody. Stop buying it then.
Oh no. I mean, I'm doing my best to avoid the Asian stuff, and I'm just buying. I'm buying, sticking with the stuff that's made in Canada, America, or Europe. But yeah, that's sort of that was definitely one of my biggest disappointments for this year, and also that the collection he released for the 1300s was pathetic. But yeah, okay, that's it for me.
Well, yeah, that 1300 you bring up, that was disappointing because the execution of it, where I mean, I don't fault him. It's not a big deal to me, but it might give other brands some pause when it comes to deciding if they want to do something similar. So, you get one shot to get that right the first time. And if you don't, maybe you mess it up for others. So that, and obviously we haven't seen anything like that since. It's still a little soon, but being able to pre-order something that you really want, there's definitely something to that. And I hope it can happen again, that it wasn't just botched to the point where it's an impossibility.
Well, the shoe was fine. It was just the collection that he released with the shoe.
Well, I'm talking about just the way they initially put it out there and the confusion over when it would release and then or get put out, and then it's finally shipping out, but you don't know when you're going to get it. And then people are emailing them and they're giving them the brush off.
Sure,
from a customer service standpoint and execution there. It was like, it gives you pause.
Yeah, their communication was pretty bad about that. I agree there. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, David.
It didn't suck me in.
He needs to hit up Mosh and figure out what Mosh is doing, because apparently he's the only one that can get a pre-order right.
Yeah, Mosh is doing really good with the pre-orders.
You got those leftover pairs of Marshalls and TJ Maxx, guys. Go look around. Hey, I gotta sign off though.
All right, it's all good.
I gotta do some late night work here, guys. Thank you.
All right, Paulo.
See you later,
Thanks,
Paulo.
Paulo. So, silhouettes of the year. I want to talk about silhouettes of the year and silhouettes that are just sort of like stagnant, sick of seeing it, or it just doesn't do it for you.
992, please go away.
990s. Just kidding.
I don't want any more 992s. I'm done with the 992. It can just disappear now and never come back, please. But that's just me.
No, they can come back.
I don't want them to come back. I already got enough.
In 5 years, you'll want them again.
Yeah.
Give it time. That's how it goes.
But I mean, on a quick side note, the biggest shock I've had so far was getting those MTA 920s for under retail. That was awesome.
Insane.
I mean, shout out to Dover Street Market for making a mistake on their pricing on their website and selling them to us for under retail. Thank you very much. But yeah,
that was great. That was great.
That was awesome. Love it.
Man, I'm tired of seeing 327s. You can get out of here. And this pains me, and it's gonna be hard. Like, I'm tired of dunks. Not because I don't love everything about them. They're just stuffing them down our throats so much that it's ruining it. Like, I can't, and it takes us back to one of our first conversations, Dave. Like, they're doing it so often. It's like, I can't appreciate one before the next one drops. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so like a dunk a week now or something like that?
And they dropped 2 today. And there's 2 more by the end of the week.
Damn. Yeah. Now it's twice a week now.
Dude, no, bro. So we're dropping they dropped the zebra and the cheetah today. They're dropping a candy pair. They're dropping the Fleet 99 white pair. They're dropping a pink and white pair on Saturday and the Kentucky Highs on Saturday. And that's if they don't hit us with some more shit.
And the Magnus pair on Friday.
And those are SBs, but yes.
Yeah. But that's the only shoe I'm excited about. That's the
Magnus,
that's like the only dunk I've been excited about for like months, because I love Magnus.
I've been excited about a lot of them. I don't want them to stop making the shoe. I just would love for them to stop releasing so many of them so quickly. Like
access,
So basically, slow down. They just gotta slow down.
Like, it's cool, man. I don't need 5 a week. Let's just go with 1. That's cool. 1. Like, I have a backlog to work out of, and I'm like, shit. When am I gonna get to? Like, I can't. I don't have that many feet.
It's like the hot dog eating contest. It's like, when do you blow up?
But look, and the thing is, like, look what they're SBs don't release every week. At least SBs don't release every 2 weeks. Like you can appreciate the last pair of SBs to drop.
Sure.
The build up for the Magnus Walkers, it's been great. We can wait on that. It's been what 2-3 weeks since the Pauls drop, which was that was a great shoe, really high anticipated. Now I'm ready for the Magnus. You know what I'm saying? And after that, they'll give us time, but like to drop that many, and what are we trying to? Basically, the Dunk is becoming the new Vans. Like you can just get every color you want. It's coming. I mean, you can't get them. Let me rephrase that. But the color is available, and the idea of copying them every weekend is there. You know.
I just wish some of the colorways that they dropped, or even some of the collaborations, I wish the prices weren't so bad on resale. Like what was it? The Hawaii, the Maui Wowie pair. Like that pair was dope, and like they're still $500, and I'm like, come on.
In your size.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Oh man, sorry,
Because
David.
in my size, they're 200. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
See, this is ridiculous.
Oh man.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'm not over dunked. Like I don't care, because every once in a while they'll hit with one that's really dope, and I'm like, oh,
Sure.
that's great. Like I'm
Sure.
all about it. But you can't get them, so it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how many you release if you can't get any of them, right? So like that's my problem. Is like this whole I guess they released that whole thing last week about like, oh, the sneakers algorithm, it's the more you interact with the app and blah blah
Yeah,
blah
but
blah,
that's
blah.
just
And
for
I'm like,
exclusive access.
I'm like, I'm 40, like I'm not gonna be on this app all day. Like you guys
And
got
you
the
need to be
wrong
on
one.
there. You need to make it like your new IG, Instagram. They need to let you post pictures.
Yeah.
Then you can get in on there.
But
But, I
David,
mean, I get it.
It's for the boring Virgil dunks. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
It's for that.
No, but
And
they explained even further though, that there's like
did they?
algorithms for wins, and there's like a total number of losses that they let you rack up before they give you a win.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's crazy. That's crazy. I don't try for everything, and I'm not gonna try for everything because I don't know if one of those W's is gonna be for something that I really don't want.
Right.
That's a problem. We have like the sneakers effect. Like you get early access, but it's for something you don't want. But you're like, yo, do I buy it? Because if I don't buy it, they won't give it to me again. But if I do buy it,
Wow.
is it going to take it away from the one that I actually care about?
Exactly.
Hold on,
exactly.
You know what we're sounding like? We're sounding like those mom and pop sneaker shops where it's like you gotta buy all the trash that Nike throws down your throat so that you'll be lucky enough for that one time of the year.
That's us.
Where they give you the gem. They give you the gem.
That's us right now. that sucks. Like I guess I have first world sneaker problems. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm able to get a lot of these shoes, but I'm just tired. Like slow down, so I don't have to get them. I don't have to get 5 of them a week.
Yeah,
like I don't have to get 5 a week, but you know what I mean.
The giraffe, I think the giraffe pair, or whatever that released today, it was kind of cool. It was dope.
The
like,
cheetah?
I liked it.
Cheetah.
But, oh, cheetah.
Yeah, I hit on sneakers. Weird.
What?
Yeah, facts.
All those L's finally got W. But like I don't want to try for them. I don't want them. But also, if you space them out more, I might have, right? Like if that was the only dunk coming out this month, you'd be like, ooh, maybe.
Magnus Walker, right?
If that
was the one for this month, you would be interested, right? Like you want time to appreciate the product, not like there's a dunk in there that I didn't realize was sitting there, and that I forgot about, and it's just sitting right there because there was 5 other pairs of other shoes that just stacked on top of it because I couldn't get to them. Stupid.
Yeah. It becomes like binge watching a show. Like I'll love a show on Netflix. Like I'm watching Rag. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but I definitely appreciate it more when I'm watching it one at a time, versus just all at once. It's just too much. And it's definitely like that with sneakers. I can appreciate them one at a time, but you throw a whole bunch together and it's just like gives me a headache, and it's a big mess, and it's overwhelming, and it's not what it could be. It's not the same experience.
Absolutely. We're just getting bombarded with shoe after shoe after shoe after shoe. Some dropped yesterday, a bunch dropped today, tomorrow even more, the next day after that. I'm like, I don't even know if I like the shoe enough, but you know, because I'm unsure, I go for it because I'm like, I might like it. I think I like it. You know what I mean?
I think if there was an algorithm, so if they have an algorithm that's really like calculating how many L's you take before they give you a W, they should tell you that. Like I would, if I knew that I had 50 L's and I could only use, and once I hit those 50 L's, I could get a shoe. I would save it, right? Like I would get my 50 L's out of the way, and then I would go, okay, I gotta pick
Yeah,
this.
but we
shoe.
all would.
Yeah, but
it
think
wouldn't
about it
work.
though. Everybody's not going to use it on the same shoe. If you get a guaranteed access
Well,
to one Nike every year, are you going to blow it on the first good Nike, or are you going to wait? I would wait. I mean, you know, like everybody can't get the same shoe. Everybody can't go, oh, I'm going to wait for this Virgil, whatever. Like everyone's not going to do that.
But you can.
You can, but everyone's not going to. Like me, I'm going to use it on this Magnus Walker dunk. Like I'm not going to use it on anything else. I wouldn't have used it on the P Rod dunks. I wouldn't have used it on that. Like,
What if they drop something you wanted even more right before it on a surprise drop like they normally do, and then you're like, what do I do now?
I mean,
Because
but
now
yeah,
I
you
got two
gotta-
shoes
that's-
and I got
that-
one.
I mean, but that's
See,
part
for me,
of it.
I just reset it, be like, let me get the dub, and then
But
I'll just run through
that's
as many
part of it,
as many
right?
else as I get.
Do you go for that like immediate thing, or do you wait for the thing that you know is coming, right? But at least you have that option. Like I always feel like if I know that I have an L, if I know I have a W with every company, like let's say I know I have a W with New Balance that I could cash in at any time, like I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for something, or I know that there's something specific that I want now that I'm gonna cash it in on, right? And like I feel like they don't give you that control, so you're stuck in this world of like, well, I have to try for everything,
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
that's it.
or I end up with nothing.
Yeah, but they can't give away their bet. They can't give away their secret. They'll never tell us that because then we wouldn't try for shit and they wouldn't sell anything. But then they'd be left with a bombardment because even though we all might not go for the same pair, most of us will. And when we do, because we all have FOMO, sneakerheads and FOMO. That's just the thing. You don't want to miss out on a pair because you don't know when the next one's coming back around. So when you go for the dub,
I don't know if I have FOMO. Like I don't.
you
I don't
say
know.
that.
So,
You say that now.
So I don't necessarily know if I have FOMO because like there are shoes that I really was like into and it comes and I'm just like, like Bacon, same, you know, just came and I was so amped. I was waiting for them. I was really pissed that they didn't drop last year during Air Max month and we were expecting them and then they didn't come and then they were supposed to come in July and then they got delayed. And then it was like a whole thing. And it was like, oh, they canceled them. We're not getting them. And then they came back. And then I was like, I'm kind of over it. Like, I was like, I'll try it on sneakers, but I'm over it now. Like, if I had got them, I don't know if I would have kept them. Because I know so many people that bought Bacons or that tried for Bacons and either wore them when they first got them and haven't worn them since or haven't worn them at all. Right?
I haven't worn mine yet.
So I know there's that FOMO, but it's also kind of I don't know. I'm trying to work on developing like a real attachment to a shoe before I get it.
That's really tough to do because I feel like you don't really get much time to really invest.
Because like those Kith 990 V3s, they dropped and I could have got a pair and I was kind of like,
Yeah.
And everybody got them. Like everybody that wanted them got them, and I was just like, it's not for me. Like, it's
and
cool.
I'm super happy that everybody who wanted them got them.
And then the Bodega pair, of course, I want and I can't get. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, Bodega's like that. You know, I don't know. Everybody's been giving them love, and I'm like, yeah, they're not getting any love from me. Those guys, no, thank you.
It's all fake. That I'm like, I don't want to say anything negative because I feel like they'll blacklist me permanently.
I don't care if Bodega blacklist me. Let them.
I feel like Bodega had a breakthrough when they did the No Bad Days, when they did that first New Balance collaboration, and ever since then it's been like,
well, I mean,
We
the
don't care
first one
about
they
we
did
don't
was
care about
before that.
everybody that was with us before that. Like
What do you mean?
He
They're
wasn't shooting with us in the gym.
I have so many bodega collabs from pre No Bad Days, and it's like I don't even exist now.
yeah. I mean, they don't. You know who they care about? They care about the influencers. That's who they care about.
They come up,
That's who they care about.
they had to come up, and then they totally forgot about us. It's all good. All good. Um, anything else that we want to touch on about this year? Anything that we're looking forward to? I know James, you said the Joe Fresh Goods. Eric,
Yeah. Joe Fresh Goods and the unions. I'm looking forward to those as of right off the top of my head right now. There's more, but those are the ones I'm thinking about.
I'm definitely looking forward. Yeah, Joe Fresh Goods, definitely. And unions are cool. I don't expect to get them, but if I got them, that'd be nice. I'm just looking forward to like things getting back to normal, when the release schedule is normal, when projects don't get canceled. I've seen a spate of particularly New Balance shoes that I know were canceled because of all the production issues, and some of them were great. And it's such a shame that it had to happen that way, that they can't put them on the back burner, come back with them later. And some really good ones that I'm just GRs. Like, I don't care about collabs as much. I mean, it's great when I can get one, but just some great GRs. Those are the ones that mean the most to me. And just when we can get more 1500s and 577s and shops have them. And looking forward to the day when it's easier to find shoes on sale. I mean, not seeing as many good GRs on sale as we used to.
Yeah.
I know the shops don't want that, but it would be nice if occasionally you can find a good deal. Don't need everything to be a steal, but just a couple.
Once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. That's all I ask for. You still want to support the shop, show them love, but want to win one or two here or there and get some deals here or there. It's always nice. Feels good.
Speaking of oneness, is 45% off. So
I'm logging off and going to Oneness right now.
There you go.
they have all the 991s that released this year. So you can get them off like 145.
Yeah.
997s are bust.
Shipping on them is so much, and if you get two pairs, it's like $40 to ship. And I'm like, well, there go most of the savings. Damn.
Yeah.
Too bad.
But you're right. They offer a lot of deals. So.
Justin.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I one thing that I liked that I didn't mention was the Made Responsibly 998s. I like that New Balance is. I hope that becomes a yearly thing for them. I think that's pretty cool. Using all their surplus materials and making wacky colorways. Yeah, that's a good one. This is mine. I like it. It's very cool. I thought I got a pretty decent colorway.
Those are good. Yeah. Well, you didn't get the Lakers color, so you won right there.
So that was one thing that I did. One of the few highlights of this first 6 months. But gonna see how the release of these 2000 Rs go from Mr. Bembre. See if I can get a pair of those. Those are, I got his first shoe, and I'm hoping I can get the second one too. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really into brown sneakers, so I'm not really gonna go crazy for the Joe Fresh Goods. I might try for them if there is a chance for me to try, but if there isn't, whatever. I don't know. We'll see. But but if for some weird reason I want to kill some vacation time, maybe I will go to Chicago. Who knows?
Hey, look, if you don't want them, you can try for me. I'm good. What's up? Let's do this. We can do this together.
Sure.
I need them shits.
Yeah. So it's well, I guess when it comes to just regular, like, overall what I'm looking for the rest of the year, definitely want more 990 V3s. I got the one pair from Kith. I really like how it looks, and I'm really excited to get a few more pairs of those. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. That's pretty much it for me. Yeah, I don't really have much else that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I have to second what Eric said about seeing some good 1500s come back. Like I think they've done some really good colorways. That SDS pack was really cool.
Yeah. The 577 more on that one.
Yeah,
1500.
I have the 1500, but I really like the 920. I would like to see more 920s because it has like that 990 V3 sole, so you get that comfort. And they're usually a lot cheaper than what some of the V3s are going for. So definitely would love to have some more of those. But I mean, other than the Joe Fresh goods, like there is, I think, one Saucony project coming up that I'm looking forward to. That they
What is
haven't
it?
announced yet.
Um, US or Europe?
If it comes, because everything gets canceled, like you said. So there's been so many things that like have been like, oh, I see like a glimpse of it, and then it's like, oh yeah, they got canceled, or oh, that was just a sample, or oh, we're not doing that anymore. So like that, and the Joe Fresh goods, I think it looks good. I like the blue and the brown. Like I like brown shoes. I'm really into them. So if I could get
Attaboy,
one,
Dave.
what?
I said, "Attaboy, Dave. Let's do this."
Go to Chicago, David. You know.
Yeah, right.
Dave, I'll meet you there. I'll meet you at the Bean.
Is it too soon to say that shoe's like shoe of the year?
Yes.
Like,
It's way too soon. I mean, you haven't even put them in your hands yet. What are you talking about?
Pictures tell a big story, though. I don't know.
I don't know about
Facts.
that. Filters tell a worse story, in my opinion. But
Sometimes.
like, there have been many a shoe that I've gotten them in hand, and they've looked a lot different than the photos I've seen on the internet. So,
Sure.
I think it'll be in contention. Absolutely, though.
yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
I could say, yeah, definitely in contention, but I could never say that it's already shoe of the year.
I'm
James,
excited if something surpasses it, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
with how much hype there will be, with how
Right.
nice a project it is, I will definitely be excited. And I'm hoping that, like with Bodega, like with Kith, New Balance is starting to, make a couple more pairs for collab. I'm hoping they make a few more. It does, they don't have to flood the market, but help us out a little bit. Give us a little more of a chance.
yeah, I mean, I think they just need to be able to release, on the New Balance store online. They should release in like all the flagship stores, and then like a couple different like boutique stores, like concepts and stuff. That would be great, because I feel like that would give people a little bit more of a shot at, trying to find a way to get a pair. Like if they show up that at the New Balance flagship store in Boston, I got a chance, right? I got a better shot than if they're just in Chicago or something. So
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they closed out here. They had the 3-story
I saw
shut down. Yeah.
it sucks. I was trying to, and the funny thing was, I was trying to get a New Balance San Francisco T-shirt before they closed because I thought they were. I really wanted one. It sucks that they closed.
I might have something around. I'm sure I do somewhere. Like I got a bag of New Balance shirts behind me, and there's probably like a San Francisco Run Club one in there if you'd want that.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see it. Yeah, I'd be happy to give you that. I mean,
Oh, let me know. I'll give you a little something. Just let me know what you need.
no problem.
Anything else you guys looking forward to, upset about, happy about?
We're shoe people. We're always upset about something.
Yeah, like why does John Elliott has to make his sneakers $480? I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
It looks so good. But
It
they're
looks
so
good, but
expensive.
I don't understand where he's getting the idea of making his shoes over $450. Like where?
I think he's
Like the
gonna
first
learn
trade
though,
ever
'cause
made
they're
a shoe
sitting.
retailed over 200.
It makes zero sense. It really
Yeah.
does.
He's gonna learn though. He's gonna learn because they're sitting. They're sitting right now.
Oh, well, they better be sitting for
Okay.
that price.
I think all of his stuff is overpriced though. Like now that I just like I really like his stuff, and I think for a while he was like top of the game, like when he was like collabing with Ronnie all the time, like
Yep.
he was top of his game. But now it's kind of like, yeah, there's so many brands I can, why am I going to spend $270 on a pair of shorts from you when I can go spend $110 and get like shorts from anybody, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like priced himself out of the market.
Well, I mean, the good thing though is that he does do his seasonal sales, and his sales are pretty significant. So, sometimes you might be lucky enough that if you wait for the sale, you'll be able to get something for a good price.
I'm not checking for John Elliott anymore.
I personally, I still do, just because I appreciate the quality of the pieces that he makes, and I also appreciate that he still makes some of his stuff in Japan and some of his stuff in America. But I have noticed that he also has been also making stuff slowly in Asia as well, and it's sort of disappointing. And he's still asking the same prices, so it's like, man, these guys, they're progressing not the way I want them to progress. Damn it.
Well, it's good you're out there paying attention and like you can call them out on it, because
Yep.
people probably don't all the time, and then that's
Yeah.
what lets you get away with it.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but I want to sell, I want to support them and celebrate them for when they make stuff that deserve it, but it's like they're definitely relying more on their design than their quality sometimes, and it's really too bad, especially for those prices. So anyway.
Well, I think that's it from me. I really appreciate you all jumping on and doing this mid-year with me. I got to do it another time because there are so many people that I had to split it into multiple podcasts. So I have to redo this on Thursday with a whole different group. But I appreciate you guys coming on. Great thoughts from everybody. Erik, we got to get you back again. James, you're always welcome. Justin's always welcome. Y'all know. So thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Combo, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Have a good night, guys. Take care.